Anyway. What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Insecure season 4, episode 11. Episode 8. Are you just going?
I'm hungry.
Y'all asked for Niecy. Niecy's here. And she's eating something she put together. Don't ask her what it is, y'all. Don't ask.
Decided it's a bean burrito.
No, we didn't decide nothing. You decided it was a bean burrito. We decided you put together some stuff.
And I'm calling that bean burrito.
I didn't know you get to just make something and just call it whatever you want to call it. So the next time I make a ham sandwich, I'm going to call it filet mignon. And then that's what it's going to make it, filet mignon?
Take a picture, put it on Instagram, charge $50 for it.
Anyway, you guys, let's get into this review. I'm not doing this with her tonight. I'm not. Let's get into this review. What?
That's a little spicy. I put a little Tabasco.
Yeah.
I put a little Tabasco.
Tearing your mouth up, ain't it? Anyway, y'all, let's get into this review. So the episode, now I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is not what I saw, okay? I just knew it was going to be some more drama with Condola. I was like, somebody put in my comments that would Condola want to talk to Lawrence because she's pregnant. I thought Condola was outside waiting. People put that in my comments, and I was like, that might be true. People were I thought Condola was outside, like in somewhere that we just didn't see her, but she was out there and so long. I really thought it was gonna be some more drama with this whole Issa and Lawrence thing. But we start this episode off, we see them sitting on the couch, kind of looking at each other, giving that awkward look, like, "What's up? I don't know. What's up? I don't know. You tell me. Well, you tell me." And then Issa jump on top, and we see this whole like Love Jones montage of them doing all of this dating stuff on the blue couch.
I never saw that movie.
You've never seen Love Jones?
My dad had it because he took it from grandma. He had the DVDs, but I never saw it.
Wow. Anyway, I can't believe you've never seen Love Jones. Anyway, it was this whole, but anyway, for those of us who've seen Love Jones, it was this whole Love Jones montage. And all of it was on the blue couch, which I'm sure was very symbolic. Y'all know what the blue couch meant. And so then we just have this moment. We get to a point where Issa and Nathan are sitting. I said Nathan. Issa and Lawrence.
Yeah, don't get them confused.
I know, right? Issa and Lawrence are sitting on the couch. And she's asking him about what is wrong with you? Anyway, and she's asking him about he's asking her about the song that's playing. So she looks at her phone to go look up the song, and she sees that she's got a text from Nathan asking her if she was still available later on in the week. And so she does something very mature, and she says, "Listen, I don't know what this is that we're doing, but I don't want to fuck it up." And so
I wouldn't have done that.
Why wouldn't you have done that?
Because we're not together.
Like I said, so she said, but she was like, "I don't really want to mess it up." So with that being said, I just want to let you know that I've been hanging out with dude I was dating. We're not messing with each other. We're just kind of friends right now. But I want to.
I need to tell you nothing.
But I just want to be honest. So you wouldn't tell him nothing?
No. We are not dating, and me and him are just friends.
Okay. I mean, I can see both sides of that coin. I don't know what I would have done. I feel like I probably wouldn't have said nothing either, to be honest. At least not at that moment. At least not in that moment.
It's so early in the game. It's just like, what am I even telling you about? Why am I telling you?
But then Lawrence threw it back at her and was like, "Well, what do you want this to be?" Now, how would you have answered that? See?
I wouldn't have to answer, because if I was Issa right now, the mature thing would be for me to focus on my career and my next event. But we have this whole history. But I feel like Issa still is not going to automatically say, "I want this to be a relationship." Okay. She's just going to say, "You know what?
Well, she did sort of kind of
catch the feelers, but let's keep doing what we're doing." I feel like that's her mindset. Like, let's keep doing what we're doing.
Right. Well, that's kind of what because she sort of, she sort of sidestepped it. She didn't really give him a straight answer. So we know that he's still interviewing for the jobs in San
What
Francisco.
do they call it on the show? They say, what do they say, Cisco or something?
I don't know, Cisco.
They say something. I think it's Cisco, but it's like, oh, that must be like Holly talk or something. Like that's what y'all call it.
I guess. So that's what that on their way. I mean, so he's still interviewing for that job. So that's still something that's kind of up in the air too. He might be relocating.
I think he is because so in the beginning of the episode, like, well, not the beginning, but the last scene that we see him in, he's like on the phone talking to her, and I'm.
Well,
just
you
like,
jumping ahead. You're jumping
well,
ahead.
Well, in that scene though, I'm just like, he gonna leave. That's when I knew.
Okay.
I knew he was gonna leave.
You knew? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we see Molly, and she called her therapist when she was down in the beach. And so she's meeting with the therapist, and she's being her typical Molly self. And her therapist kind of flipped it on her and was like, you have a very unforgiving spirit. I mean, these are the words I'm using, but that's kind of what she said.
Ooh, I felt something. I don't think I'm Molly, but I do think I have an unforgiving spirit.
You think so?
I do, because when people cross me, I am not so inclined to just like forgive them and be friends with them again. Look, it's people on the waiting list that are just like,
it's people the waiting list to be your friend.
When is she gonna come around again? I'm telling you.
It's people on the friendship waiting list.
Yes. Like, when is Janae gonna come around again?
People on the friendship waiting list. Okay, so.
Right.
But you know what's
also,
funny?
I am not a girl that's like super popular. I wouldn't even say that I'm super mixy. And the only reason that I'm even
super mixy, what does that mean?
Mixy means like you're all up in the mix. You're super social.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Every single event.
Yeah. Okay, I got you now.
The only reason that I'm even like somewhat kind of mixy is because of sorority life and because of the events that I've gone to. Really, I would say that's mostly the reason why. And then also, like, I hang out with like old coworkers continuously. Right. Like the girl that I was out with today with her friends, that's an old coworker. Like most of my friends in DC are probably like old coworkers, or I know them through Greek people.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's people on the list. Because I'm a good person.
Because you're. I mean, I'm a when I'm done kind of person. I put up with a lot before I get to that point, but when I'm done, I'm done. Anyway, so, but basically, Molly's therapist is telling her like you have an unforgiving spirit. Like when people cross you, it's just almost like there's no return, or you make them, walk through a desert to get to you. And Molly was like, well, these people did some messed up stuff, and her therapist was like, okay, you're right. At some point, they did some stuff, but at what point are you gonna forgive them? Like, what's more important to you, being right or having these friendships? Right? The glare is kind of on my head a little bit. Anyway, and of course that Molly had to sort of take a pause on that and kind of think it out. So then we see Issa working. She's finally back in her apartment, honey, and she's working and. This whole situation with Nathan and Lawrence is sort of weighing on her. And of course she wants to talk to her best friend because her best friend is the only one that, one, she probably trusts to talk to about it, and two, has the whole story. Because let's be clear. Yeah. You have some friends that you tell parts of the story, but you don't tell all of the story too.
This friend knows about Nathan.
Right, and this friend knows about
Lawrence.
But Molly knows the whole story. Yeah. So she calls Kelly, and of course Kelly don't answer the phone in her Spanish and English answering machine. And she goes to call Molly. Molly answers the phone, and she tells Molly, "Hey girl, I miss you, and so much has been going on with me. I'm kind of seeing Lawrence again." And then Molly goes off on her, talking about some of course that's the only reason why you called me. You want to make it about you again, and we realize that it's Issa's mind. It's a dream sort of thing. So she does end up calling Molly to hook, and Molly agrees to meet up with her, so they go to brunch. And the brunch was very surface.
Yes, it was just kind of like that eggshell brunch. I've had, I guess I have, because we went in on ours. So no, I haven't had the surface level one, but I've had.
No, we went in. Oh no, we went in.
No, I've had that conversation where it's just like, we have kind of been like on the outs for like maybe a year or so, and we basically used to be best friends, and now here we are in this day and age, and it's just like, so what's it gonna be? Are we gonna be friends? Are we gonna be cool? But they didn't even like really have that whole discussion because they were just so nervous about being like honest with one another that they walked around everything.
They did, but I feel like Issa did want. Okay, Issa did miss Molly, and she did want to make up with Molly, but she did also want to talk to Molly about what's going on. But because she had that whole like dream sequence in her head, I feel like she was scared to bring it up because she kept trying to put it on Molly, but Molly wouldn't say anything. She's like, "So how's work?" And Molly was like, "Good, work's good."
I think that.
And how's this and how's that? But I don't feel like they ever got to that layer.
Everyone in Molly's life is like willing to see other sides of things and be a little bit more open and honest and vulnerable than Molly is. So Molly is just always kind of the one where it's just like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do like, she just always has that wall up that the people around her don't have.
Right. So couldn't see nothing, didn't want to open herself up to it or whatever. And so they had brunch. Issa paid for brunch.
Grown up Issa. Grown up Issa.
And I feel like, and let's not forget the little tidbit they dropped us that her brother, who had the girlfriend that was pregnant by the baby that wasn't his, ended up having the baby and leaving him with the baby that wasn't his. So that's a whole nother, that's one of those little side stories, but it was funny anyway. So, so Issa, was this before or after she called her brother? Did she call her brother before she called Molly? Yeah, she did. She called her brother when she was calling everybody. Right, she called her brother before she called Molly, and of course he wasn't no damn help, but he looked like he was eating some habanero wings, honey, and having a whole moment with the But he just wasn't any help. So that was all the more reason for her to call Molly. I think he was her last option before she was like, fuck it, I just got to break down to call Molly. So.
But she didn't talk to Lawrence about Molly. She didn't talk to Molly about Lawrence.
Oh yeah, she did not bring up Lawrence. Right, she did not bring up Lawrence. But let's be clear, y'all know Molly would have been real judgy about that.
Remember, she was judgy at the freaking when they went over to the house with the newborn baby.
That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, she don't want to bring up Lawrence. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes. Okay. So Molly goes back to Andrew's house. And, of course, Andrew was like, I'm glad, how did everything go? And Molly was like, well, we didn't really talk about anything, Issa. And basically Molly was saying that she put the ball on Issa and Issa never went there. And he was like, yeah, but like, I know you miss her. Like, why y'all just can't talk? He was like, why can't you just meet her halfway? Like, she invited you out. Exactly. She clearly misses you. She clearly wanted to talk things out. Like, why couldn't you open up the door? And, she was like, well, Issa didn't bring it up, so I didn't bring it up. And so we just kind of had a real surface type brunch, And then Andrew brings up the fact that his brother is in town. Now, we remember that Molly and his brother did not part on the best of terms, but he's extending an olive branch, inviting them to a basketball game. And Molly, politely declines, but she tells Andrew, you should go ahead and go, but I'm going to go ahead and stay here. What would you have gone to the basketball game? Are you going to forgive the brother? Are you moving on?
I mean, I don't know, because it's like I'm like so not a Molly person, like just in like my natural personality, but I would have went only because think about it, like this is your partner and this is your partner's brother.
And that's what Andrew said. Andrew was like, so you just never want to speak to my brother again? Like, he's my brother. Like, at a certain point, if you want to be with this guy for the long term, at a certain point, you're going to have to figure it out, because guess what? That's his brother. Like, you can't put him in a position to choose. Y'all ain't even married. Like, you can't make him choose. That is his brother. And for all of his flaws, I'm sure, let's be clear, Molly, your family ain't perfect. Wait till he meets your family.
And he, like, already took her side once. So it's just
right, like, he defended you.
You gotta kind of just, like, give him this thing. Yeah. Like, give the brother a chance to try to make it up to you. And if he makes a fool of himself yet again, then, like, let that be on your list of things. Like, Andrew, look. We had Mexico. We did the back, like, look, let it be another one of his mess ups. But
you can only imagine some ignorant shit that would come out his mouth at a basketball game. But my thing is give him the rope to hang himself with.
Yes.
Because again, you're not going to win. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to win making somebody choose between you and their family, and y'all ain't even married. Like, y'all not even at that point.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, he's his brother. Anyway, so, but Molly didn't go. So next we see Issa hanging out with the intern, and they're out. Issa don't know what her next event is going to be called or where they're going to have it. But it sounds like
a health one because they have the juiceries. They have a cycling place. It seems like something that would be up my alley.
It does sound like something you would do.
Yeah.
So, but we see Issa is still working on her next project, whatever it's going to be. And Lawrence calls her, lets her know that he did nail his second. And she calls him macaroni, child. Or rice-a-roni. Rice-a-roni. His San Francisco treat. Right. And again, they are so cute. They have this whole natural banter. Like, they are just so cute. But anyway, so, but he lets her know that he nailed the interview, but he still hasn't heard anything yet. And she lets him know that she did talk to Molly, but they didn't really resolve nothing yet. And then they have like a whole little cute moment or whatever. Then Issa shows up at Nathan's house, and she is typical awkward Issa, not sure how to even greet him. Yeah. You know, when he gets too close, she moves to the other side of the room. And then she tells.
Part of her feels a little guilty or something though.
Guilty about what?
Cause I feel like that's where part of her like awkwardness is coming from, because it's like, dang, like we were kind of like friendship, but we were vibing still, and like I was hanging out with you.
That's true. They were kind of vibing.
You were helping me out, and then it's like now I've been vibing with Lauren.
Right, like, yeah, they've been vibing. So maybe that's what it is then. Maybe that's what it is. But either way, it's real awkward. It's sort of tense. Not so much on Nathan's part, but definitely on her part.
All Issa.
Right. So she does end up telling him, like, listen, you know, I don't know if this is awkward or not, but I just need to let you know that, you know, I've been hanging with my ex-boyfriend, and, you know, we're kind of in a weird space, but I just wanted to, you know, be upfront about it. And he was like, oh, the dude you cheated on? I was like, damn. Then he gonna say,
when you like somebody, you gotta throw those little daggers out there.
Right. And then he gonna say, oh, well, I think he wishy-washy. I'm like, how is Lawrence the wishy-washy one when she the one that cheated? Hello?
And then what did he say?
What did he say after that?
No, what did he reveal?
Oh, okay. Anyway. So she said, well, at least he knows how to use his words and he doesn't just disappear. And so at that moment, Nathan opens up to Issa and lets Issa know, look, I didn't just drop off the face of the earth. I was dealing with some stuff. I found out that I'm bipolar. I had to go back home. I had to really process some shit. But at the end of the day, I realized that there are certain people that I want in my life and certain people I don't. And you're one of the people that I want in my life. You're real cool. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. So now Issa is just like, oh, damn, like, I didn't know. I'm sorry. And I think that's where the conflict is coming from, because she does still like him.
Yeah.
But she kept holding on to the anger of, but he left me hanging. But now she understands that there was a reason for that, and that there's a connection there. So, I mean.
I still... I told my aunt when we were watching this, when he said that he was bipolar, I was just like, huh? I mean, I'm not trying to be discriminatory, but my first thought was kids. I wouldn't want my kids to be bipolar. I wouldn't, like, my first thought honestly was genetics. And
I think that's a fair statement.
I just wouldn't want my kids to suffer from bipolar disorder.
Okay. And you're dating to find your mate, so okay. But I think that's where the conflict is now coming in between Issa and Nathan. So next we see Molly coming up in the house. She got takeout. And once again, and this is a small thing, but I picked up on it when I watched it the first and second time. She comes in with takeout, and
she didn't get it from the place that he wanted. She got it from somewhere else, because Molly likes to be in control.
Right. Like, and he was like, well, I thought we were getting Indian. And she was like, yeah, but the last time, you know, their nah was nah. And I'm like, well, so when he said he wanted Indian, did you articulate that to him that, well, the last time we went to that Indian place, I didn't like the food. Can we order from somewhere different? It's just like, it's always the Molly show.
The reason... Like, the way that her relationship with Issa is going, it's like the same thing that's gonna happen with her relationship with Andrew. You always have to be in control. You can only be right. You have to be superior. It's like you said, it's the Molly show, and so you're gonna end up driving him away. Just like how, like, after he brought her the food, he brought up his brother again in the basketball game, because
Right.
at the end of the day, it bothered him.
It did bother him.
He was probably
Yeah.
at the game, and half of the time, if not all of the time, he was thinking like, "Dad, man,
Because he said it was
where's my girl?"
Right, and he said, well, it was kind of awkward, because he invited both of us. It was sort of his peace offering, and I had, I told him you had to work. And she was like, well, I ain't asked you to lie for me. He was like, yeah, but the alternative was for me to tell my brother you ain't want to come, like
creating more conflict.
Right. So then Issa and Nathan come in there because they were coming to get more boxes to move or whatever, and once again, little, that awkward situation. And Molly is like, look, if y'all haven't eaten, we got plenty of takeout. Why don't you come on? Or was it Andrew that offered the food, or was it
Andrew kind of like nudged her?
Oh, okay. So, but they end up eating, because at first Issa was like, nah, we good, we already ate. And then she just kind of stops herself in mid-sentence like, nah, we hungry, like, we good. Yeah. So they end up eating, and they look like they having a good time, and everything is everything. They laughing, they joking, they talk about Issa's first. Her and Molly start reminiscing on Issa. What are you doing? Why are you making that face?
Because you about to get to the part that upsets me.
Oh, okay. She leaned up and stuff. I wasn't sure what we were doing. I was just like, okay. So Issa is they're going down memory lane, talking about Issa's first apartment and some drinking game that they made up, honey.
Seemingly having a very normal and good time.
Somebody's angry.
Like, Kiki, everybody's taking a little sip. We playing Celebrity Heights. Like,
which is a totally made up game, only designed to get people drunk. Like, there's no way around.
What you do when you're.
Well, that's what a drinking game is.
That's what you do. And then Issa gets a text message.
Molly sends a text, and we've all done it. Everybody has done the text to the wrong person. We've all done it. So she sent a text that she thought she was sending to Andrew, but she really sent it to Issa, and it said, see, I'm trying with her. Issa gets the text, and she does, she hit her with the, I don't think you meant to send this to me.
And then she says she has to go.
And then she's like,
comes out with the new bottle.
And I'm out.
And it's
so for everybody else, it seems like it's coming out of nowhere. But of course, Molly knows exactly why Issa's upset. And Molly goes out to go. She, runs out to Issa while she waits for her Uber, honey. Because, I guess all of them got cars, but don't nobody ever drive nowhere. But because I don't understand how all of them got cars, but don't nobody ever drive. Or maybe she rode with Nathan. That's what it was. She rode with Nathan. I take it back. I forgot. She probably rode with Nathan. Okay, my bad. I take it back. So she's waiting for her Uber, and Molly comes out there, and Molly was just like, you weren't supposed to get that, which, duh, I know. And she was like, well, I'm sorry, but, this whole thing just seems kind of forced. And Issa was like, but I'm trying to get us back to where we need to be. Like, I'm trying to get back there, and you act like you don't want that. And she's like, well, we haven't even talked about the real issue. And Issa was like, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the block party. She was like, it's deeper than that. We were off even before that. Issa was like, exactly. So let's talk about it. And Molly says, well, maybe where you are and where I am, we're just not a good fit anymore. So my thing is, what did you expect Issa to say to that? You basically just said we don't work together anymore. So Issa was like, all right then, because of course at this moment that's when her lift is pulling up, and she was like, all right, well, I'm out then. And Molly was like, so you just gonna leave? Well, what the hell did you want Issa to say?
I think she just wanted her to grovel and to say, like, can we just make it work? Can we figure it out? Like, she just wanted her ego stroked a little bit, I think.
It's like, because my thing is, I maintain that all of this ain't on Issa. Like, yes, Issa has her shit, but all of this ain't on Issa. And Molly doesn't want to acknowledge or accept any of her part in this.
And honestly, I feel like don't get me wrong, some stuff with Issa I definitely would not have put up with after a while. It's like, Issa, girl, get yourself together. But Molly
ain't perfect.
No, she is not. It's like, yes, Molly, you got some money, you got this job, but you got some characteristics.
Issues.
You got some traits like that we do not
okay. Like so this is this episode 8 or episode 9?
This episode that should have been the one before last, because the next episode is the season finale. Yes,
this is this is episode 9. So we have one episode left. So what I do know, or what I do feel, especially since it's been renewed for another season, I feel like that's the cliffhanger
What?
is Lawrence saying he got the job and him and Issa having to make a decision.
I
feel like that's the cliffhanger.
If that's the cliffhanger, because I would have rather seen some kind of fight between Issa and Canola. Don't give me that one. I'm not saying a fist fight. I'm just saying, like, I would have rather have them have had like some argument or something, like something just a little more scandalous. Like, we've seen the love story cliffhanger before. Just give me something different.
Or maybe the cliffhanger is Issa has to choose between Nathan and Molly. I mean Nathan and Lawrence.
I think that'll be it. Who do you think she'll choose?
Lawrence.
I think she'll choose Lawrence too. I mean, I would choose Lawrence over Nathan.
I would choose Lawrence over Nathan too.
In real life, as much as I would not want to have kids with somebody who had a mental disorder, Nathan looks good. So if he looked like Nathan,
you would take your chances.
I'm gonna just have my kid in therapy real early.
And on that note, we out. We're done. That's it. We're done. We're done.